Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, the #1 place for information on living in Maryland. Today we're going to talk about PCSing to Fort Detrick and what you need to know before moving here. And before we get started, I have to let you know that I am a licensed realtor in the state of Maryland. So if you do need help moving to or from Maryland, I am happy to help. My information is listed below. And you can also reach out to me on my Instagram at Eddie Brady Real Estate. You can message me there as well and I'll get right back to you. And with that, let's get started. So if you've never heard of Frederick, Maryland, I have to tell you that you hit the jackpot with places to go to. I think Frederick, Maryland is one of the best cities in the entire state of Maryland. It's one of the most underrated cities as well. There are so many great things that we'll talk about in a minute about the city and things to do. But first, let's just get into a little bit of the facts, the location, all of that. So Frederick is located in central Maryland, which is about an hour west of Baltimore and an hour north of Washington, D.C. It is at the intersection of some major commuter routes like I-270 and I-70. You can get to Virginia pretty quickly, obviously D.C. fairly quickly depending on traffic, and Baltimore. So when you're thinking about commuting to the major locations around, it's a good place to be. And also it's located just to the east of the Appalachian Mountains, so plenty of outdoor activities we'll talk about, but just really ideally located and a great place to live. All right, so I'm going to talk about 3 different things here. I'm going to talk about what you need to know about the city. I'm going to talk about things that you can do in Frederick, and I'm going to talk about where to live depending on your situation. So let's dive into what you need to know about Frederick City. One of the most important things I can tell you about Frederick City is that it ranked as number 17 on the top 100 list of cities to live in the United States in 2021. And I'm really not surprised. There are so many positive things that I could say about this city. It's small business friendly. There's all kinds of amazing events. It's remote work ready. The infrastructure is fully set up. It is a well-designed and thought out city. So that's really important to know that you're moving to one of the best cities in the entire United States. And another thing you should know about Frederick is that it is expanding. So a lot of people are moving here. There are a ton of new construction home communities that are in Frederick currently operating. As of fall of 2022, there are 15 active new construction communities in Frederick that are building, and that's all for a really good reason. This city is really becoming popular. I still think it's underrated compared to others in Maryland, and it's one of the hottest places to live because there are so many things to do in the area. And I made a video specifically on this of the top 10 things to do in Frederick, Maryland. So make sure to go to my channel and watch that. But just to give you a very small list, there are so many places to walk to within the downtown city limits itself. There's the Carroll Creek Linear Park, which is a really cool park along the creek in downtown. It's paved paths, a lot of really cool architecture that they put in there. So a lot of cool stuff to do and walk around downtown. There are over 60 bars and restaurants that you can go to. You can do something new almost every single week of the year. You just won't get bored in Frederick. So that's really a plus when you're PCSing to Fort Detrick. I think you're next to one of the most fun cities that you could be in. So make sure to watch that video to get all of the details. And you're probably wondering, where should I live if I want to take advantage of all of the great things in Frederick? And it really depends whether you're going to stay here short term or long term. And that's how I'm going to advise you where you should really live. So if you want to make Maryland your final destination, you want to live here permanently, I have a full list of the top 5 neighborhoods to live in Frederick, updated as of this year. So make sure to go to my channel and watch that as well. But if you're looking to stay here short term and then maybe move and rent your place, that is a totally different strategy, and I recommend different neighborhoods. So let's get into those really quick. There are 3 areas that I recommend directly around Fort Detrick for those of you that want to move and rent your home later on to build some equity or turn it into an investment property. The first neighborhood is called Clover Hill, and it is just on the north side of Fort Detrick. It has over 1,200 homes in this community alone, and they're all single family homes. They have some colonials, but a lot of single story ranchers, and this is why I like this neighborhood so much. Single story ranchers, the 3 and 4 bedroom, 2 bath, are great rental properties. They're easy to fill with tenants. They're easy to maintenance when you leave. They're easy to sell when you need to sell as well. So overall, just a great investment property, and they're directly next to Fort Detrick. So you could rent to military personnel, you could rent to government personnel, and you also have the local citizens as well that you can rent to. So just overall a great location if you're thinking of using this strategy. And the second neighborhood is on the south side of Fort Detrick. It's called Villa Estates. And what stands out to me about this neighborhood is that it also has multi-family homes. It's much smaller than Clover Hill, but it has a wider variety of homes you can buy. And I love multifamily as an investment strategy because you can buy a duplex, which they have a lot of here, and rent out one side while you're living in the other. It's kind of like a townhouse. And a lot of people are actually making money while renting out one side and living in the other, and especially when you move out and rent out both sides. And the cool thing about this is you can use a regular residential loan product like an FHA, VA, or conventional loan. So less money down, you don't have to put 20% down like a normal investment property, but you can treat it as one when you leave. The loan conditions usually stipulate that you have to live there for at least a year, but that's nothing in the grand scheme of things, and you can make a lot of money using this method. So that's why I recommend Villa Estates as the second neighborhood to invest in. And the third neighborhood is to the west side of Fort Detrick, so we're covering all our bases here, and it's called Walnut Ridge. And the majority of the homes here are single family and they have apartment complexes, but I'm primarily focused on the townhouses in Walnut Ridge. And the reason is they are so reasonably priced that I think you could turn a good profit on them. And for those of you that want a little less maintenance on your rental properties, this is a good option for you. And again, there's not that many of them, but it is so close to Fort Detrick that if you do see a townhouse pop up in this neighborhood, I highly recommend jumping on it and making an offer. So I hope this video helps you plan and prepare for your move to Fort Detrick. If you have any questions, to reach out to me. I am happy to help you with your move. My information is listed below, and make sure to like and subscribe so that you stay up to date on all of my videos about living in Maryland.